Now we've our weekly dose of controversial chat and entertainment in the James Whale Radio Show.
My name's Trace and I'm looking for a bloke. He's got to be tall and he's got to be into smoking, fags and into sex.
Tonight's, you make me sound like Wogan looks. Now look, tonight's program is all about relationships. Now, people have relationships, as you know. Sometimes they don't work out, sometimes they do. Sometimes people have strange relationships. A man in America recently married a tree. And what I wanted to know from you at home tonight was, have you got a strange relationship? If you have, I want you to ring this number and talk to us. Okay, there it is, 0532 46 1000. Let's have lots of calls from those of you who have strange relationships. Also on the programme tonight, we have Vice Queen Goldie. We have a very unusual couple to talk to a little later on, and also Leslie Grantham. But first, well, I've started a Lonely Hearts Club. I thought we'd call it Whale Meets Again, and a lot of you are sending your videos in. If you'd like to send one in, please do. Here's another one.
Hello, I'm Sebastian. I'm a banker, and I'm not really sure of the sort of girl that I'm looking for. I suppose someone who's prepared to let me spend lots of money on her. That's really about it. Thank you.
My name's Sophie and I'm looking for a man who's not that bothered about a little unsightly facial hair.
Hi, I'm Danny. I'm a Pisces. I'm looking for a non-smoker, somebody who's tall, athletic, active, well-built, and a man. Ooh.
Okay, well, there's not really much we can do for them at the moment, but if you want to get in touch, as I said, please call us. Now, Deirdre is with me. Deirdre is the Sun's agony aunt, and you're described as Britain's #1 agony aunt. And you get, it says somewhere here, you get over 40,000 letters a year?
Absolutely.
And 400,000 calls?
That's right. And the agony column they've discovered recently is just about the most read bit of the newspaper.
That'll upset Gary Bushell, actually, but more about that a little later on. Now, when people have a problem with a relationship, is it the ego that is the biggest problem, or what?
I'd say the biggest common problem is it's actually lack of ego in a way. It's lack of self-confidence. It's lack of loving yourself, because until you can actually love yourself and actually think you're a worthwhile, lovable human being, you can't actually then relate confidently to someone else, and you actually may be rather ashamed of your own needs, or you feel you should be feeling okay and you don't feel okay, and that's where all the knots start coming in.
How long have you been doing this, Deirdre?
About 12 years.
About 12 years. Now, they say that relationships are breaking down a lot more now than at any other time. Is that right or not?
I'm not so sure. I think maybe we actually see them breaking up now because maybe people economically, well, certainly until maybe the last year or two anyway, could actually financially set themselves up separately. Like if a marriage is breaking, they could afford to split up. But I reckon there was an awful lot of misery going on behind the laced curtains and the closed doors 30, 40 years ago.
Do you make up the letters? I mean, I know you get a lot of letters, but
never.
Do you make up some of them because...
Never, ever, ever, ever. I don't need to, because I can only get into the paper about, 19, 20 letters a week, and that's with the daily column, and I get about getting near to 1,000. I mean, my problem is actually combing through all that 1,000 and finding the ones that I think should go in the paper.
I mean, they're quite, when I say salacious, maybe that's a little unfair, but I mean, for instance, your column today starts off, "I caught my wife fondling one of our son's friends and I can't stand it, but how can I stop her?" I mean,
I never put in what I would actually call titillating detail. There's a difference, between actually saying frankly what's happening, what's disturbing you, and anything which is actually designed to wind someone up.
But most of them seem to be of a kind of a sexual nature, is that fair?
Yeah, I think it absolutely is fair, and quite right too, in a sense, because people usually have got other places they can go to for other sorts of problems. But there is always a balance. I mean, I do actually have other problems in as well, because people's lives are lived in the round. But I do see myself as a place where people can come with those tricky problems. They can't go somewhere else.
Do you reply as well personally, or does somebody from your office? You have a
Absolutely.
team of people. I mean, I should make
I've
it fair, but
got-
you have a team of people who
Of
work
course
for
I
you.
do. I can't reply. We do. It's very important to me that we reply personally to every letter, which we do. So I have 5 trained counsellors who work with me.
What is... I see, oh, you've got a helpline, and I find this one. Beating body odour seems to be on the agenda this week. I mean, why beating body odour?
Because people have BO problems, I hate to say.
Are they getting
And
better? Are
it's-
people writing about BO problems? I mean, surely you just go and wash and use a deodorant,
Well,
surely.
for some people, it is a bit more serious than that.
Really?
I mean, yes, sometimes people
I
actually
can't
have
believe
got
that.
medical problems, and sometimes it's to do with they're just trying to say to their partner, stay away from me.
Because that's going to be a big hindrance in a relationship. I mean, if you
I should
stink,
go,
that's going to be a really bad business, isn't it? Okay, Deirdre, for the moment, thank you very much
Thank
indeed. We're going to now look at a video which features a rather strange relationship. It's a relationship between a young lady and a gorilla. Now, thank you very much indeed. Shut up now. Leslie Grantham, Dirty Den, welcome to the show. Leslie, you promised you wouldn't bring the fan club. You said you would leave them. Please, I'll let you in wearing a shell suit. I'm not likely to do it again. Now, Leslie is, of course, as you probably know, famous for having all kinds of relationships all over the place. Well, on television, that is. But does it ever affect your own personal relationship? Do you find that a problem or not?
No, because I happen to be married to a very wonderful lady, and she realised it's only a job. But I must reply to Deirdre.
Sincerity there, I like that.
Yeah, or she's watching probably. I must reply to Deirdre. I mean, I don't know about you, but I used to love going to the newspapers and reading all these things. You know, my wife.
Woman's Realm was my favourite. Do you remember
marvellous.
Woman's? Is that still in business? I don't know.
Well, I haven't bought a Woman's
Realm.
Realm for ages, but the lady I bought. But it's because of sort of people like Deirdre that relationships.
That's how we
defined
find
as
out
what's
about
normal.
sex.
You know what's normal. So but can you imagine someone writing into Deirdre and saying, "Look, my boyfriend likes me dressing up in rubber. Is this wrong?" Of course she's going to say it's wrong. She doesn't want her family to go around saying that she's a pervert. She says, no, it's perfectly normal. You know, so it annoys me that we actually have people say this is normal and this isn't normal. If someone wants to dress up or someone wants to have a relationship with a gorilla, I've been out with a few dogs myself, but I've never been out with a gorilla. You know.
There is time. There's time for.
As I'm getting older, there's definitely time.
There's time. So, I mean, what is normal? I mean, do you imagine the sort of relationship you have, Leslie, with your wife is normal or not?
It's.
Does she dress up in rubber? Do you dress up in rubber?
No, he doesn't. No, I do.
You do?
No. but it's when you go abroad. I mean, I'd never been in a sex shop in my life, and I was filming.
I don't think we believe that, Leslie.
I come
but
from
okay.
a very sheltered background. When I was filming in Amsterdam, and we were filming the river, in the red light district, and
Take your time. If it's a little nervous, just take your time. All right, okay.
I couldn't believe what I'd seen in the shop window. Now, one of these kids grew up with an inferiority complex.
What did you see?
What? I mean, Jill Gascoigne summed it up once on TVAM. She said,
She wasn't in one of those.
No, but she said that, for years that women have been led to believe that was 10 inches.
Yeah.
And I thought, God, if I looked like that, I'd make a fortune. Straight away I went next door. There's no way I could compete with this guy.
So possibly a new series coming out with Leslie Grantham playing a man in one of these places.
Playing a woman the way these guys would, I tell you. Another quarter of an inch, I've been countersunk. God, dear. No, it's just that we're so sort of staid and tied back about how we behave.
Inhibited.
Yeah.
Inhibited.
You know, I just think that if we were a bit more like the French and the Italians, that we wouldn't have such a hang-up about what's normal and what's not normal and whether...
You're right, absolutely. I'm going to go and do a competition now. For the moment, Leslie, okay?
Thanks, darling.
Right, okay. Baz, come on, up we go. That's very continental, you see. Now, you'll be all right there for a few moments, won't you? I'm going to go and change into a frock. Right, behind me is Britain's smallest ever cameraman, Baby Baz, and he's small, but he is perfectly formed. Right, up here at Mission Control. Let's put the condoms out of the way. What on earth are you doing? Oh my gosh. Right, now, you may remember last week we said we were giving away a holiday in Japan. We are actually giving away a holiday in Japan. It wasn't a fiddle, and thousands of people rang the competition line. Of course, only one can be chosen. We have chosen 8, and we're all lined up. The first one to tell me the correct answer will go to Japan. Who's there?
Hello, this is Edmund Teal.
Okay. You know the question?
No, I don't know the question.
Don't you?
No.
Well, that was part of it. No, okay, right. I'm going to give you a chance. Right, you got the first part right, which was when you had to ring in, you had to answer the question, what is the capital of Japan, which was?
Tokyo.
Absolutely correct. Now, if you get this next bit right, you will be going to Tokyo with the monochrome set. All right? All expenses paid. You're going to have a great time. You're going to travel around with the band, okay?
Right.
All you have to do to win that fantastic prize is tell me the answer to this question. What is the name of the monochrome set's latest LP?
No, flunked out.
I beg your pardon?
I know I flunked out. Don't know it.
Probably, if that was in English, you're absolutely wrong. But thank you for your call. We'll go to the next one. Okay, hello.
Hello, it's Ian from London.
Right, Ian, do you know the answer?
No, but I know the monochrome set were in a great record by Serious Drinking, Love on the Terraces.
Yeah, that's very good. Very good. Not what I asked you, but very good. Thank you very much. I'm afraid you're not on your way to Japan. We have 2 more people we've lined up. 2 more people we have lined up. Okay, and if nobody gets it, well, don't know what we're going to do then. We thought somebody would have got it by now. Right, next one. Hello.
Hello, it's Bob Smith from Guernsey.
Yes, now, do you know the answer?
I wished I did.
You don't, do you?
No.
Okay, all right.
Bye.
Bye. It's embarrassing, isn't it, really? Okay, right, one more person on the line. Hello?
Yes, it's Ken Walls from Glasgow.
Okay, Ken from Glasgow, if you get this right, all right, you will be on your way to Japan with the monochrome set. Tell me the name of their album, their latest album. Tell me it.
Is it Wata Wapa?
Is it Wata Wapa?
Yes.
You've been watching Leslie, and that's wrong. Absolutely wrong. What are we going to do?
We'll try and get the other 4, but they haven't called back.
Okay, we've got 4 more people we picked out, and we will go to them, if we can, a little bit later on, and maybe somebody will ring in. I'll tell you... No, we can't do that, because you have to be able to go on the... so what to do? I'll tell you what, take a break, and I'll go and have a think about it. Go on, I'll take a break. Okay, welcome back. Here we are, live and late from Leeds tonight. The James Wales Show is on. I knew it was Jack. No one else seemed to. Right, Wales Mail. And thank you for the letters. And don't forget, if you would like to write in, we're still taking letters, of course, as well as our call box. And we'll give you the address in a few moments. But a letter that came in today came from David from Penshire, Tyne and Wear. He wrote a very long letter, and I'll abbreviate it slightly. He says... he is seeing as how this week's programme is about relationships, he says, I thought I'd write on the predicament I presently find myself in. 8 years ago, I started going out with a girl. She was very attractive, but the best part about her was her personality. She was warm, friendly, and witty. Over the years, our friendship developed and grew, and despite deaths in our families, each other's support made it so that the loss was bearable. I suppose we got to take each other for granted. We never got around to taking that step to marriage, thinking the other would always be there. Recently, she was introduced by her brother to his friend, who is a born-again Christian. Since then, she has decided she can no longer have a relationship with me, and added, if it's any consolation, you haven't lost me to anyone other than God. And we thought it was an interesting letter, and I thought I would ask Deirdre for her reply a little later. She can sort of be thinking about it at the moment. Maybe she can come up with an answer for David from Penshire. Now, before we go on to the next bit of the programme, let me remind you of the programme coming up on the February the 14th. Is it February the 14th, isn't it? We're doing a programme on depression. I'm depressed most of the time, actually, but we're doing a programme on depression. And if you'd like to be in the audience for that particular show, if you are depressed, or if you know somebody who's depressed, or you have anything you'd like to say about depression, drop us a line. And the line for mail or for an audience ticket is coming up now. Wales Mail, Yorkshire Television, Leeds LS3 1JS. Now, what about another lonely heart? Look at this.
Hi, my name's Kenton and I'm a biker, and well, I'm looking for a girl really that you know, is into the same sort of things I am, which is country walks and sitting warm and cosy by the fireside and small furry animals. And just one thing, the girl must have her own motorcycle, and a photo would be appreciated of the motorcycle.
Hi, I work in what we call showbiz, and I do a lot of the voiceovers for phone-ins, and I'm really desperately looking for a partner. I'm sort of pretty personable sort of person, and if you think you're the one, then please get in touch. My name's Ethel. What? Oh, the glasses, sorry. Hi.
Well, I'm quite confident we're going to get quite a lot of response to that particular feature on the programme, to my new friendship club. With me now are Kathy and Martine. And Kathy and Martine put together something called Repartee, okay, and Rosie's Club. Now, before anybody says anything about Martine, you're right, Martine is actually a man.
That's correct.
And this particular magazine is all about transvestites.
That's correct, yes.
Okay? Now, first of all, I've got to get this absolutely right. You're not homosexual, are you? Either of you?
No.
Well, you're,
well,
and you're a woman as well?
Yes,
yes,
I
of
am.
course, yes. Just
Yes,
in case there's any doubt.
It's a common myth that most TVs are gay. They aren't. Most are heterosexual.
Most are heterosexual?
Yes, most are, yeah.
Now, you dress up like this all the time, or you just dress up when you're going out or appearing on television, or what?
It's usually just on special occasions, in the evenings when I have social evenings and parties, and when we're going out, that sort of thing.
So it's a hobby?
In a way, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I would prefer he dressed up more. But
is this because you're a little kinky, or I mean, you know, be honest. You can be.
I don't know. I just enjoy it. It's tremendous fun. I mean, it's so interesting. The whole subject's very fascinating.
Did you talk her into doing this, or did you meet through some kind of transvestite club?
I actually met Martine at one of Martine's parties.
I've been dressing many years before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you have a club. We're going to give people the number later on if they'd like to get in touch.
Yes.
Now, you're not married, are you?
Well,
no,
more or less.
You're more or less married, but you haven't gone the whole hog and got married. Why not? Be a fight over the wedding dress, I suppose.
Yes. I think
Who wears wedding dress?
No, transvestites have terrific problems in society, and we're here tonight to say that there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, and we'd like to help as many people as we can, both transvestites and wives. And
some wives don't actually know their husbands are transvestites, do they?
No, they don't.
They'd be very
An
upset.
awful lot don't. Yeah.
There's a lot of transvestites are very wary about telling their wives that they're transvestite because of fear of rejection, that the wife might leave him. So there's an awful lot of transvestites who keep it a secret all their lives, and they feel they just cannot.
That must be a barrier in their relationship. I would think.
It causes a terrific strain on relationships sometimes.
Is it a sexual experience for you dressing up in women's clothes or not? I mean, is it something that you do because it turns you on sexually and it turns Kathy on sexually, or is it just something that what makes you want to do it?
The sexual side of it is pretty minimal, really. Perhaps in the initial phases, for most transvestites, there is some element of that, but for most transvestites, there's no real sexual side of it. It's just for the pleasure of wearing beautiful clothes, basically. And you know, it's just for fun, really.
Basically,
You know,
it should be a pleasure, and that's what we want to emphasise through our group. We have meetings, we have parties, we have a really good group, we have all sorts of facilities. We have the magazine, which sells nationwide.
I was looking at some of the photographs in that. I mean, I don't know whether we got Baz, the smallest camera out of the world, is down there somewhere, but I don't know if we can get a shot of this. Is one of your parties.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not being rude, but it seems to me that a lot of men aren't trying to really make a conscious effort to disguise the fact that they are men dressed up as women.
I think we'd argue with that.
Really?
Yeah.
Some do. Some just want to dress up and enjoy themselves in female clothes. They don't worry too much about whether they do look feminine. It's just the wearing of the clothes.
I mean, do you dress like this around the house?
Sometimes, but most of the time I don't.
Do people where you work know you do this?
Well, I work at home,
Yeah.
so there's no problem.
That's
there.
all right then. But you couldn't go to the office, or you couldn't go to the well, you couldn't go to the factory, presumably, dressed like that.
No, not really.
I think in that situation it would attract a lot of ridicule.
Yeah.
But, there are people who do go dressed more or less full time.
Right.
But for most, it's just an occasional thing. Just when...
Do you argue over clothes? Who's wearing... I mean, before you came here, did you argue over who was wearing what?
Yes, I borrow all Martine's clothes and wigs, especially.
Yeah, so we were fighting over the wig.
Bladder all his tights as well.
Really?
Yeah.
But I mean, I can see... I mean, you're making the point, Kathy, that you obviously are female, unless you've been rubbing some of that cream in or something. But do you always go just a little bit further to make people realise that you are not a TV?
Well, I just like to dress up, really. I mean, most of the time I don't look as glamorous as this, and I like to dress up in the same way as a transvestite dresses up. You know, I don the wig and the false nails, and I wish I could impress upon more women that it's really, you know, harmless, and you can have a lot of enjoyment out of it. They aren't gay; they are heterosexual men. But such a lot of wives have problems because of society, really.
Okay, well, I want to thank you both. I know it's been difficult for you to come in and talk about it like this, so I want to thank you very much indeed for doing that. We have a little problem with our machine. We can't put your address up at the moment for Rosie's Club. But if people would like to find out more about that, if they write to me here at Yorkshire Television, we will forward the letters on to you. And for the moment, thank you very much indeed. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Now, some of the people who've called the call box, of course, this week have left some varied and interesting comments about the programme, and you can do it as well too. If you want any time, you can ring 0898 46 1000, and from last week's show, these are some of the comments.
Good evening, you dickheads. My name is Bobby Big Boots. Bootsy, 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 boots. Bootsy, bootsy, boots. Women! Put more women on. Show more tits and vaginas. Oh, they never put that on.
Great. Just great. Everything's just great.
Hello, James. I'm just phoning up to say that this bloke you got in your show, Arthur, whatever his name is marginally more interesting than Arthur Fowler from EastEnders, and he makes you positively charming. Ta-da.
You know, I watch your show every week. I work as a nurse, and after cleaning up loads of shit and muck and everything else, I mean, I sit down and listen to all the loads of crap you talk about on your show, and I just wonder if there's any vacancies.
James, how can I stop my wife fart smelling of cabbages? Please help. Rob from Birmingham.
Anyway, you're looking a bit fat these days. You have to go on a diet.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant.
Call box. 0898 46 1000. Call box.
Okay, I think we should give a prize away, probably a packet of late-night entertainment, I think, for the most serious and interesting call from this week's bunch. Now, with me is Goldie. You may have seen her in the newspapers. You may have seen her on the television the other week when she streaked across which football pitch? Hillsborough. Okay, Goldie, of course, is known to millions, a vice queen extraordinaire. And before we get on and have a chat, here's another letter we had, and we thought this would be rather nice going into our conversation. It says, on the subject of relationships, Gina from Norwich wrote with this story of how she met her boyfriend. Now, she says, at the moment, there's much talk of opening brothels in this country, but what about us girls? I met my boyfriend in Germany whilst he was working in a male brothel. He told me quite a bit about his work, and it really fascinated me. I would have thought it was every man's dream to work in one of those places, but he assures me it's very hard work. Are there such things in this country or not?
Well, to be honest with you, to be honest with you, I don't think a man can stand on ceremony, you know, as often as what a woman could do, because
stand on ceremony.
Well, you know
sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. I see. Yes. Okay.
And you see, like, well, we get all kinds of people, right? Can be disfigured or whatever, and obviously it's the attraction that stirs the emotions. Okay, but a woman could take that and a man can't.
So you mean a man just couldn't get himself into the right situation? Oh, I mean, how many people would you deal with a day then?
A day?
Yeah.
Well, usually in the sauna about 30 to 40 customers a day.
You must have very strong wrists. No, oh, yes, I see what you mean. Do you think that, I mean, presumably most of your clients are married, are they?
Yes, 9 out of 10 are married.
Yeah. Do you think you're ruining their relationship, or do you think you're helping their relationship?
No, I think I'm helping them because, you know, sometimes they may be afraid to ask for certain things, and I kind of like bridge that gap for them. So
you're sort of a sex therapist?
Yes.
Yeah. How long have you been doing it?
On and off. 7 years.
On and off 7 years?
Yes.
Why were the off bits? What were the off bits for?
When I was writing for my film and my book and things, I took some time out.
Your film, which is going to come out sometime, we hope, in a year or so? Or?
Yes, well, it's actually, hopefully, this year, which is done by Persona Films Limited in Cardiff, and I'm very pleased. I'm working with Deborah Bowring, and of whom you know, and I'm very pleased for that. My book's due to come out.
I mean, isn't this we've already had Personal Services, and Julie Walters played that part very well, but don't you think this is a bit old hat now, or not?
No, because this is a different kind of a story. This is kind of my life story, and it's more of a reason why you shouldn't do it, basically.
A reason why you shouldn't do it?
Yeah.
But you could give up and do something else if you wanted to, couldn't you?
I could do anything.
Yeah.
But you see, the trouble is, once I started doing what I did, the stigma of it all stuck with me. So it doesn't really, you know, I have to make good out of bad. I'm already there. I mean, I was already labelled. So I have to now pursue that and come good out of that.
Do you ever, how can I put this? Does somebody come in and they are really so repulsive that you just say, no, I'm sorry, go out? I can't manage that.
No, because there is a gentleman that I do, is paraplegic, and you know, he actually does all, it's very sad, and I literally have to lift him out of the wheelchair and position him, and you know.
Do you look forward to going to work?
Well, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it makes me feel a bit. When I was younger, I couldn't deal with it. But now, because you see, life is about understanding, you see. And once you start to understand, then many things come more clearer. So I accept things more, and nothing really shocks me or anything.
So what about your own relationship? I mean, do you have a relationship with a guy at the moment?
No, I don't.
With a girl?
No.
Why not?
Well, because for the stigma, really. I mean, most people who don't know me and meet me, they think, oh, she's a really nice person. But the minute you say, well, what do you do for a living? Well, I'm a massage parlour owner. It's...
But I mean, they've just got dirty minds then. I mean, presumably a massage parlour owner could be somebody who's quite a legitimate business person.
Well, definitely. I mean, there's some massage parlour owners who actually just go in and take the money and go, but I actually work within the environment with the girls, so, you know, it's a...
So you're the madame, really? Could we call you a madame?
Well, call me anything you like, except early in the morning.
But I mean, you could give up doing this. You could just run the place. You don't have to actually have, I mean, if I might be so bold as to say, sort of hands-on experience.
Well, I could give up, but the point being is I think very much if I was out of the way, then a lot of people would still have a few problems, because it's not just sex orientated, you know, you just wham bam, thank you ma'am and stuff like that. It's more in depth, and I do a lot of escort work and things like that, so.
Okay, we're going to take some calls now. These will be primarily, Deirdre, I should think, for you. So let's go to Sean. I think it is from Birmingham, first of all. Hello, Sean.
Hello there, James. Yeah, the question is, Deirdre, I'm currently in a gay relationship at the moment, but I've met a girl and I'm a bit mixed up at the moment because I fancy next door neighbour's cat, want to shag it one up my arse.
Well, I think you have a really bad. I think you have a bad problem there. I don't know about
Well,
you.
you have to repeat the problem, actually.
Okay, just a minute, Sean. Don't ring off for a minute,
Don't
Sean.
ring off, Sean,
Sean's he's married.
Yeah.
Okay. But he has a sexual fascination for the next door neighbour's cat. I think that's what you said, wasn't it?
That's right.
Yes, I thought so. And he obviously thinks he's being quite funny, but I mean, that's not, you know, there are people like that, believe you me.
Cats are quite unusual.
Are they?
Yes, I don't think I've come across cats before. I think that's probably an exercise in self-control.
Yeah. Sorry, Sean.
Think of the cat.
Dickhead. Now, let's move on to Gavin from Weybridge. People in Weybridge surely can't have any sort of problems at all, Gavin.
No, hello, James.
Hello, Gavin.
Hi. The only problem I have, I'm in my late 20s, and the lady that I'm in love with is only 15, and a lot of people seem to have a problem with that.
I think the authorities probably have a problem with that as well, Gavin. Deirdre.
Well, it's okay being in love with a girl who's 15 as long as loving it in an emotional sense is all you do. If you do it anymore, if you have a sexual relationship, it's against the law. And that's, you know, quite clear cut in this country. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having an age gap. It's just you've got to be responsible and you've got to wait for her to grow up enough.
Do you think basically somebody of 15 is old enough to have a sexual relationship or not?
I mean, my private view is you can't actually set it exactly according to years. I mean, some people are wonderfully mature when they're 14. Now, I still don't think they should be having sexual relationships. But some people are babies at 25 or 95.
Are you having sex with her, Gavin?
No, I'm not.
You're not? OK, well, that's fine. Great. Wait until next year. David from Derbyshire. Hello, David.
Hey, James.
Yes, David.
Could I speak to Deirdre, please?
Carry on, David.
Listening.
Hello, Deirdre.
Hi.
I'm single, 26. You just said about babies. Well, I'm a baby, really. I've advertised in a newspaper last week. Got no responses. I'm very disappointed. And I want to know really what to do.
It could be that I mean, I won't really ask you to read out your advert now, but it probably is something to do with the wording.
Tell me a bit about yourself. I mean, you know, tell Deirdre a little bit about yourself.
Well, as I say, I'm single, 26. You know, nothing special, but I'm okay. In looks, it's just, I think it's actually the way I worded it. I really didn't describe myself enough.
I think the thing is not to try and be clever in those ads, to make yourself sound like a real human being, but also with something to offer. Don't just sound as though you're looking to be given something. Sound as though you've got something to give.
In fact,
and then I think you've got much better hope.
Keep watching ours. We've got a few more in the programme tonight, and who knows? I mean, you might find something you fancy there. For the moment, we'll take a break. Top of the Pop show for the first time ever on national television. Here are the Revs with
Just Ask Why.
If you're on your own or you're by yourself, you got nothing to do but cry. Take a look to the east, take a look to the west, and then smile the sun in the sky. Don't let them drag you down again. Don't even let them try to do all they can to get you on the thumb. Now stop. Just ask why. If you feel like you've lost yourself again, if you feel like you've lost your heart, your eyes in the skies, keep your feet on the floor and then shoulder to you is the laugh. Gonna drag you down again, don't even let them try to do all they can to get you on the thumb. Now stop, just ask why. By yourself, you got nothing to do but cry. Take a look to the east, take a look to the west, and then smile the sun in the sky. Don't let them drag you down again, don't even let them try to do all they can to get you on their thumb. Now stop, just ask why.
Now, is it?
Yes.
Oh. Hello. My name is Brian, and I'm 34, and I like train spotting, rambling, and collecting the little plastic toys from cereal packets. And well, the kind of girl I'm looking for is well, one that's breathing, really.
I'm still Trace, and I'm still waiting for that bloke, and I'm still waiting for the sex.
Yeah, well, I think David was the first one. I think David was the first one on there. I'm not sure, but you see, David, the sort of thing you can achieve. Now, say something interesting and exciting.
Well,
yeah, okay, fine. I at the Paradise Club, which I used to love the Paradise Club. As my, I think you could have some sort of
we did. We had the girls.
From,
we had the girls from Madame Jojo's. We did an episode with the girls from Madame Jojo's, and we obviously we had to go to Madame Jojo's.
Yeah, well, I heard that you've been down there when I was. Yes,
It was quite a good episode. But this is sort of, I mean, I can remember when I was younger that April Ashley was like the big news then. You know. So this is nothing new to me. I mean, there's been transvestites and transsexuals going for ages.
They would actually, I must say, pick up on their behalf. There is a huge difference, of course, in a transvestite and a transsexual. That's just to save it to a whole barrage of phone calls as they all ring in to point out.
James needs the publicity.
Yeah, there is a vast difference. I want to sort of pick up with Leslie before we move on.
I beg your pardon.
Say that
What? Okay, no, carry on.
I never tell people this is normal, that's normal, you should do this, you shouldn't do that.
I couldn't remember the other people's names. If you want to do it with black
rubber or bondage, that's up to them. All I say is you mustn't hurt anybody, you mustn't deceive anybody, and that's my rules.
No, I agree.
Could you, before we go on, actually I gave you that letter and it would be wrong if I didn't go back to it. What about the guy who's lost his young lady to God?
It's very difficult. I mean, it's even worse. I mean, I get letters from people like this where they've been married for 20 years and one of them gets into one of these sects and they are so strong and almost all you can say really is if that is what the other person's chosen, that is what they've chosen, and really you're going to have to say, okay.
Yeah, I mean, if she's found, I mean, if she's with God, at least he knows where she is.
It's these sects. I mean, it's not just
he's not lost her.
These sects, which is so strong. And I think it's really agony if you've got children involved. I mean, that is just awful.
This is a letter that you would get quite often, this sort of thing?
It's a regular sort of, I do. Quite regularly get these sort of letters. And there are people who will help them. If they're willing to come out of the sect, there are organisations that help them get out.
But that seems
just
just a sort of, she's just found God. She hasn't joined some sort of
she's joined born-again Christians, which are very strong.
Are they? Oh, right. Okay, we're going to take some calls. Is that all right? Okay, you all right there?
Yes, I'm fine.
Okay, let's talk to Daniel from Stanmore. Hello, Daniel.
I just want to go.
Thank you. Right, Paul from Brighton. Hello, Paul. Hi. Thank you. Most of them came from Brighton tonight. Okay, Paul.
Yeah, well, I've been having a few problems with a girlfriend, like this is to Deirdre. I'm a bit nervous, you know, because she's just left me, and I just found out she's gone off with another woman.
Well, happens quite often.
If that's her choice.
Yeah. Nothing you can do about it. Get a frock. John from Glasgow. Hello, John.
Hello.
Yes, John.
First of all, good evening, good morning.
Yeah, yes, very nice. Yes, I think. Yep.
It's my question to Deirdre.
It's your question to Deirdre.
Deirdre.
Yeah.
First of all, don't you think half the letters you get are taking the mickey out of you? And secondly, why is it when you give your in the problem piece the 0898 number for 39 pence a minute? Why is that? Is that paying your wages?
Oh, right. Yes, okay. I think I just about heard what he said.
Did you? Because I didn't understand a word. Because that was, if you did, that was very good.
The first question is, no, I don't think most of the letters that come into me, out of those 40,000 letters I get, most of them aren't taking the mickey. I mean, to be honest, a lot of them are terribly depressing letters.
Unlike some of the calls tonight, of course. Yes,
yes. This is a rather different thing.
Yeah.
The calls, I think he's actually asking me about, because we have these helplines which give, and it's 36p a minute to ring in. I used to resist those, and I used to think it was a terrible thing to do, but in fact people love them and they ring in, and they'd rather ring me up than send me 24p.
I'm glad you mentioned, and it's nearly cheaper and a lot easier to do. And if you want to get in touch with us and you don't want to send a letter, you can do this.
Time to write a letter, but nonetheless wish to pass on to that charming Mr. Whale your views on his programme, or perhaps to suggest a subject which you would have him deal with, then Whaley's call box is for you.
Away.
Ring 0898 46 1000 and speak after the tone.
Right, okay, so that's after. Don't do it for the moment. We'll go back to the calls now. Chris from the Wirral. Hello, Chris.
Hello, James.
Yes, Chris. Your question.
Yeah, it's for Deirdre, really. I've got a situation now where I've been going after the girl for just over 3 years, and since about last August, a younger brother. I'm not too sure if he's been shown an interest towards me, but he has admitted to me that he's actually kissed a guy at school. But he hasn't actually told his sister, and I'm unsure whether I should tell her or wait for him to tell her himself.
Oh, it's her younger brother. I think you should talk to him about it. Don't interfere. I mean, you actually can't do that for someone, but I mean, I think try and be supportive of him and encourage him to get the courage up to tell her and to tell his parents. Because it's when he's accepted by his family, he'll feel a lot better about it and feel able to come out more openly.
You don't think I should tell her at all, then?
I don't think you should tell on him in that way, no.
Because once you do that, presumably you're going to make the whole thing worse, and there's going to be...
Absolutely, it's up to him. I mean, it's his life and his feelings, so you can encourage him and always be there for him to talk to, but then encourage him to find the confidence to do that for himself, which is a very important part of his maturing.
Okay. Now, we've got somebody here, I don't know whether we should go to this caller, but they call themselves Uncle Beastly from Harrow. Uncle Beastly. Uncle Beastly? Yes?
Hello, yes. I have a very loving and tender, caring relationship with someone very special to me. In fact, it's myself. In fact, I wanted to marry myself.
Well, Leslie and I can go along with that, I would have thought,
My parents wouldn't let me. My parents wouldn't let me marry myself. They said I wasn't good enough. I mean, I'm always there when I want me. I'm caring. I've never let myself down.
But does he talk to himself afterwards?
I think maybe you ought to go in for couple counselling.
Couple counselling?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
I mean.
Well, yes, there's a lot of people like that. They usually come and see you, don't they?
They do.
They do?
Indeed, yes, they
Yes.
do.
Have you, would you ever sort of visit a place like Goldie's or not?
No, because I don't need to.
Would you think yeah, no.
No, you know, I'm
Never
getting that age now where it doesn't work that often anyway, so...
Well, that's one of your specialities, isn't it?
When
it doesn't work, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
I'm there to build that up.
Yeah, well, just that's what
Build it up.
Build it up.
Ian from Derbyshire. Hello, Ian.
Hello, James.
Yes, okay, thank you, Ian.
He is from Derbyshire.
Yeah, from Derbyshire. Okay, that's one problem solved. Could I actually remind those of you who would like to get hold of Repartee, the transvestite magazine, or to find out about Rosie's Club, and Martine and Kathy, who are over here with us as well, if you would like to find out about that, do write in to the programme here, and we will forward those letters to them, and we promise we'll do that. Now, Jane from Bath. Hello, Jane.
Hello, can I speak to Deirdre?
I'm listening.
Right, my actual name's Janie, but there's a couple of us here. We were having a conversation earlier on this evening. We're both young girls, and we can't seem to get a boyfriend. I mean, we're students, we go out, we just don't seem to meet anybody. We want to know where we're going wrong.
Well, I don't know, it depends. The problem can sometimes be that you're going to the wrong sort of place to meet the sort of guy you're going to fancy. And so, I mean, sometimes hanging, I don't know, going to pubs and discos is where people often hope to meet someone. May not be the right place for you.
What
so
sort of guys? Well, I wonder what sort of guys you were going to fancy.
Well, I don't know, normal guys, nice guys. I mean, everywhere you go, like if you go to clubs and pubs or whatever, they're just out for one thing.
There's no way we can make
bath.
Well, maybe sometimes it actually helps to think of something else you can be interested in apart from the obvious and go to a place where they actually specialise in that. I mean, literally, the old-fashioned things like drama clubs or film clubs or take up a sport, things like that, where you actually can have something you're sharing with people first. Then you get a chance to build up a relationship and then something can grow out of that.
Well, go to Cardiff, Gary. Honestly,
why
Bath
Cardiff?
Get it.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't pick a fella up in Bath either.
No?
I can't open up a massage
You
parlour
can't?
there.
No?
Because there's no fellas.
So we'll find some little cure for you. In fact, Leslie's wondering if he can get out and get down there now. Thank you very much indeed for your call. Before we go any further, the competition for Tokyo, I don't know what we're going to do about that. We will organise something, and for the sort of 1,000 or so people who phoned in to take part in it, don't worry about it. It will definitely go to somebody who will be able to go over there. But before we go tonight, because we had a bit of a problem, we had an almighty cock-up last week. We were going to do one of these chat lines on the air, and it didn't work. We thought we would give away this phone. All right, here we are. You see this phone? Very nice. It's one of these cordless jobbies. Can you pull that out for me, please? Just the top one. That's it. Lovely. You see? It's amazing what an experienced hand can do. So there we are. That's the phone. Very nice indeed. All you have to do is phone the competition line, which is 0898 500 111, 0898 500, oh, there it is, 111, and answer one simple question. Who invented the telephone? Who invented the telephone? And we will send that very nice piece of new, modern, high-tech equipment off to you after next week's show. Very good. Nice. Now, Lorraine's on the telephone. Hello, Lorraine.
Hi, James.
Yes, Lorraine. From, where are you from?
Ayrshire.
Ayrshire, yes. What can I do for you?
Well, it's actually my boyfriend's behaved very strange from the past month. He thinks he's a dog.
Your boyfriend thinks he's a dog? I mean, I was going to say, well, perhaps we could offer that one to Goldie, but I think it's straight back to Deirdre. Unless, Leslie, you feel you want to come in at this point.
Yeah, I just think if he thinks he's a dog, I mean, I'll just make sure he's got gloves on so he don't scratch her back with his paws.
Yeah. Do people...
Pet's Corner night, isn't it?
Well, I thought we'd have more about sheeps and things like that, but you know, we've managed, the girls have managed to filter all those out. I was quite glad. Can you go along with it or not?
It's starting to irritate me a bit. I'm feeling depressed.
You feel depressed about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, perhaps you better do a little one of those videos and send it in to us, and we could put you on our new Lonely Hearts Club. Thank you for that. I'm afraid we've come to the end of the programme.
Yeah, can I ask Ben a question?
Next week, phone back next week, you can ask another question then. Next week, in fact, we have the first ever appearance on British television of the LA Centerfolds.
Hello?
Goodbye. Goodbye. The LA Centerfolds. You can come back if you want. I mean, can you get up from Bath next week?
Yeah, for the LA. I mean, how comes I never get invited on those programmes?
Well, I'm sorry, but it's just the way it worked out. Thank you to Goldie, and you'll be streaking again later or not?
I will be, yes.
Oh, this is Goldie, and that's Deirdre.